In the world of sports, we have contact sports and non-contact sports. Baseball is one of those sports that falls somewhere in the middle, a sport not known for its contact, although it does happen from time to time. And though the sport we all love isn't known for its contact, it still features grown men filled with testosterone, among other things, competing at an elite level and trying to capture a World Series in all its glory. So tempers do flare, and it turns our lovely day in the park into an all-out war zone.
And McCann getting face-to-face.
Obviously, baseball is not like hockey, where a beef between two players is not only allowed, but even encouraged to be squashed on the spot. But we have seen our fair share of tussles, fights, and all-out brawls. Now, most baseball players aren't known for their fighting prowess, but we have seen quite a few players be able to handle themselves just fine, and some even throw a decent punch. And this got me thinking, when it comes to baseball, we know who the best hitters are, the fastest pitchers, we even know what size bat Reese McGuire uses. But who has the best punch? Today we're diving deep into some of MLB's best brawls to figure out who is the best puncher in baseball. I'll start off by saying if there was footage of this, then I would have to say Hunter Strickland is the best puncher in MLB. There is a chance he just threw a bad punch, but based on his encounter with Bryce Harper, I'd say that Odor got off easy. I'll be honest, this was a pretty even matchup, and had it not been for that atrocious helmet toss, or the complete whiff with the right, then I might have considered Bryce Harper. But Hunter Strickland connected to the head so well here, and then followed it up by going straight to the body. And I have to believe, based on the incident with the door, that had Strickland had his fist balled up, it might have been night-night for Bryce Harper. But Bryce isn't talking, and neither is the door, so we may never know how good of a puncher Hunter Strickland truly is. To figure out how good of a puncher Ken Giles is, we just have to ask Ken Giles. Giles gave a whole new meaning to a one-on-one fight when he decided to go one-on-one against himself. To give the backstory, the Astros were facing the Yankees, and Ken Giles gave up the go-ahead runs. Ken was obviously pulled after this and decided to vent his frustrations on, well, himself. First by slapping his chest with his glove, then followed it up with a vicious right hook to his own jaw. Now, he didn't have much of a wind-up to that punch, and some may say it was more of a hard push than a punch, but that's great punching mechanics from Giles. He connects in the perfect spot on the jaw, punches through his target, and twists his body for that extra torque. And speaking of great punching mechanics with little payoff, Eddie Young threw a picture-perfect right hand on Andrew Ayers when Sacramento State took on UC Riverside in 2013. Ayers approaches Young with his hands down and chin in the air, almost daring to be punched. And Eddie Young, not being one to turn down a dare, delivers an absolute haymaker of a right hand, even knocking off Andrew's glasses. And although a bit stunned at first, Ayers eats it like a champ and looks back at Young as if to say, I gave you a free one, and that was it? Before the two lock up, leading to a scuffle from both teams. How Ayers ate that punch, I'll never know, because that was a bomb from Eddie Young. You know who else is known for eating punches? Jose Bautista. He just doesn't eat them as gracefully. Rougned Odor threw one of the most infamous punches in MLB history when the Blue Jays were taking on the Rangers, and landed it smack dab on the jaw of Jose Bautista. If this would have been in the octagon rather than the ballpark, you know this would have happened. What starts with Odor and Bautista walking towards each other quickly turns into a shove and a quick right hand from Odor that leaves Jose clearly dazed. As soon as he starts moving back, you can see him thinking, oh, and where'd my glasses go? You could tell this is not the first time Odor threw that right hand. It was like he channeled his inner Jake Paul that day. Not to be outdone, Darryl Strawberry channeled his inner Roman Reigns when he threw this Superman punch on Armando Benitez. Benitez plunked Tino Martinez in the back, which led to both dugouts clearing for the Yankees and Orioles. We then see a lot of talking and some bumping, maybe some extra bumping from Strawberry, as he looks to be on that boot scootin' boogie. The bullpens run out, and that's when the punches start getting thrown. Everyone on the Yankees is trying to get to Benitez when Strawberry finally does, coming off the top rope like the Macho Man himself to deliver a blow to Benitez, albeit not the strongest of blows Mr. Strawberry was probably used to. And you'd think Amir Garrett was on something when he decided to take on, just the entire Pirates dugout? Garrett was getting pulled, and the Pirates dugout was letting him have it. Plus, this was the crowd that night, so Amir could hear every word from the Pirates. Garrett, not feeling good about being pulled, or the unkind words being hurled in his direction, decided to take matter in his own hands and fight everyone. He connects with this great lunging, jumping bomb of a left hand that snaps one of the Pirates players' heads back, and after that, it's just bonkers. Both teams merge together in a whirlwind of chaos that ultimately leads to Yasiel Puig getting suspended. But man, The fact that Amir Garrett rushed the entire team on his own and connected with that powerful left hand while in the air, this dude is a savage. And the MLB has had no shortage of savages either. Take Kyle Farnsworth, for instance, who displayed probably the most well-rounded fight game we've ever seen in baseball. Not only did he go after a man with a goatee in the early 2000s, he displayed a well-versatile fight style. This tussle starts when Paul Wilson squares for a bunt and Farnsworth throws up and in. Wilson, not being happy about this, has a few words with Farnsworth before the two charge at each other, which leads to the best display of fight IQ ever seen in MLB. Kyle Farnsworth leads with a spear that would put Goldberg to shame. He lifts Wilson up, takes him down, mounts him, and then delivers vicious ground and pound as if he were John Jones. Seriously, Farnsworth is not one to be messed with. But even with all the tools Kyle Farnsworth has, I don't think he'd stand a chance against the old man strength of Nolan Ryan. At the ripe age of 46, Nolan Ryan decided to show us his dukes in a display that will live in baseball infamy. Being weeks from retiring, Ryan wanted to show the world that he still has it, and he did so at the expense of Robin Ventura. If being a man named Robin wasn't bad enough, the 26-year-old was ragdolled by a man almost twice his age. After Ventura starts to charge the mound, you can see him slow down as he gets closer to Nolan, almost realizing he made a mistake. But pride goeth before the fall, and he decides to, really, it just looks like he wanted to give a hug to his hero rather than fight him. Nolan Ryan then takes the head of Ventura, which was basically gifted to him on a silver platter, throws him in a headlock like it's elementary school, and just punches away until someone stops him. It's really a thing of beauty. Not only were the punches good, but he got off so many. But sometimes you only need one punch to get the job done because you're Jose Ramirez. Although this may have been a lucky punch since Ramirez was looking down and swinging for the fences, it's still impressive. This is how it went down. Jose Ramirez beats an actually pretty close throw to second where he meets with Tim Anderson. Maybe Anderson held the tag too long, but Ramirez wasn't happy, leading to the two chirping back and forth. Once the chirping reached max level, Jose and Tim decided to square up, and this is the closest I've ever seen to a hockey fight in baseball. Look how they both agree to fight, then the umpire backs away like Homer into the bush. If anything, Tim Anderson seems to be the one who knows what he's doing. He has his hands up, eyes on the target, and Ramirez, well, he puts his head down and starts swinging wildly. Anderson then starts punching downward, trying to connect with Ramirez, which leaves him open for this 100% pure grade A haymaker that, as far as I'm concerned, knocks Tim Anderson out. Maybe not out cold, but look at him. He is out when he's falling. So maybe not a KO, but a TKO nonetheless. Let's be honest. Jose Ramirez already has the power. With a little work on his mechanics, he could be the next UFC champ. Okay, maybe he won't be the next UFC champ or a boxing champ, and maybe we'll never know who has the best punch in baseball, since fighting isn't condoned. But we could get one of those punch machines in every locker room, or better yet, MLB and Dana White form a slap league for baseball players. Who do you think has the best punch in baseball? Is there one that I missed? Let me know in the comments below, and subscribe to Baseball Buzz.